Hey everybody, welcome back. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. So this new Star Wars show dropped on Disney Plus, and it's kind of sad these days that I don't know what defines Star Wars anymore, especially in this era. It has been complete crap since the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm back in 2013 or something. Because Force Awakens was like 2 years later or something. Like this show is basically lost in space with kids or something. It's kind of strange. Has an interesting premise with the whole pirate thing and opening credits, explaining pirates, and it's basically set after Return of the Jedi, so there's like no Jedi left in this time period. Following these four kids, and they get lost in space, basically. No pun intended. There's one kid turns into being a Jedi when he grows up. I guess doesn't understand he has to be force sensitive. So he stumbles upon this. What he thinks is a Jedi temple. And then this whole thing with him and his old man and stuff. This feels a little too modern for me. I'm like, I get what they're going for, but I'm like, I kind of wish these kids were a little bit older because I'm like, it kind of reminds me of the whole thing people complain about with young Jake Lloyd with Anakin and the Phantom Menace. Yo, was too young. The kid can't act, blah, blah, blah. It's all about direction, not the acting. And this kid looks like he's like 5 years old. Like, you doing here? So these four kids stumble upon this, what turns out to be a starship, like a little flagship starship. And they get jettisoned into like this unknown part of space. So they're on their own and they have no idea where their actual galaxy is. That part is kind of interesting. And at the end of the second episode, we see Jude Law's character, whoever he is, clearly a force sensitive character. And then that's where the premiere ends for the second episode. And I think it leaves enough to be desired, but I don't know. These days, I'm just so burnt out from Disney Wars that I can't really say I'm going to tune in every week. But it's kept my interest for the most part. The one kid, the one girl on the show is just kind of a boss chick. Reminds me of Galadriel from Terrible Rings of Power series. So she's kind of annoying. But of course, I figured they would do at least one of these kids try to be the boss. Maybe it would be her. She looks like she's the oldest one out of the four. We even got this alien character who was best friends with the light skinned kid. I was kind of hoping he would speak this elephant looking creature. I was kind of hoping he would speak alien dialect with subtitles like it was back in the day. But Disney Wars doesn't understand. You know, the aliens really shouldn't be speaking galactic basic in every damn show. It just takes me out of a galaxy far, far away. It just feels like, okay, even the neighborhood is like, feels like the neighborhood I'm in right now. I don't know what planet they're on. I don't know. Like, there's no indication of where we are. So we want to get back to our galaxy. Like, on what galaxy is that? I don't even know. They just start exploring the starship, and the one little kid pushes this little green button, and then the whole thing starts moving, and they just get blasted off into space. Like overall, I'm not saying it's terrible or anything. Just It's like meh. Like what was the last show? I think Acolyte was the last show that I was on. I skipped that one after the first episode. It was just so bad. I knew exactly where we were going with it too. Everything I heard about it, I didn't want to waste my time. Well, at least this one had two episode premieres, so I'm like, all right, there's something there that I guess you could say had potential. If they dive into the whole pirate thing, which could be interesting. I like seeing different branches of Star Wars, not like Andor and stuff, because that show is dreadful. But different branches of Star Wars is always interesting as long as the rating is there to make it compelling. And these kid actors aren't too bad. The one girl has like this visor on her eyes. It's kind of hoping out with her actual design, but it's like more like glasses or something. Just takes them on and off. So that was kind of lame. Yeah, cool. She's like a Gordy slash Cyclops type character slash not. I don't know. I still think the best show that's been done in this era is probably The Mandalorian. Ahsoka was okay, and believe me, I will get to the Thrawn stuff because that's a whole nother issue. But I don't know. This feels like it's just there. It's just I'm not really excited to see anything else, but I'm not really turned off by it either. Usually, it was just if it's Star Wars, I'll just check it out. For the sake of this, I figure I just get it out the way. But I don't really see myself coming back to watch anymore. It's unfortunate because Jude Law is a fantastic actor. He was great as Dumbledore in the Fantastic Beasts. So unfortunately was cut short. I get why. But looks like it might be playing that role after all in this. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to save this show. If this does get renewed for a couple of seasons, I would like to see these characters grow and see what they actually turn into because none of them are force sensitive. So there ain't going to be no joy in the show other than Jude Law's character unless they do something else. And even if you're force sensitive, you don't need to have a lightsaber. You can just be force sensitive. I've read books in the EU where there's one kid who was a descendant of Satio Shan and a clone or a public troop. He didn't have the force. His mother's force sensitive, one of the most powerful Jedi in that timeline, Old Republic. He doesn't have the force at all. So it happens, it's rare. It's also like Ben Skywalker not having the force despite his parents being two Jedi, two extremely powerful Jedi, R.J. and Luke Skywalker. It's rare, but it happens. So none of these kids are force sensitive, so they're probably not going to be Jedi. So I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with them. If this gets renewed, there's potential for that to develop. And if it doesn't, then just another waste of time. Just like the last show they made, all this space witches and stuff. I'm like, yeah. No. So makes some different aspects I just don't agree with. They introduced that stuff in the Clone Wars series back in the day. Didn't like it there either. I don't need witches and stuff in Star Wars. It doesn't really work for me. Like in Fallen Order when Marin buries that crazy dude underground. That was like really dark to me. I'm like, wow. That was really dark. I'm like, wow. This, I mean, it's a show. Things happen in it, but I recommend it. No, I can't even say it's for a younger audience because there's one like wolf-looking dude that's probably a little scary for younger kids that would possibly tune into this. I can't even say it's directly aimed at kids. It's definitely a little more modern, I guess. Not the type of Star Wars I'm used to. It's like again, I'm advocate of expanded universe. That's my Star Wars. Even more than the original trilogy. Like original trilogy, expanded universe, prequels, and maybe The Mandalorian. It's the first two seasons. That's about it for me with Star Wars. But Kenobi series wasn't too bad. Had a lot of problems, but Snoke had a lot of problems. I didn't watch The Acolyte past the first episode. It was a little bad. It was really bad. Yeah. Yeah. For this two episodes premiere, I give it like 5 out of 10. It's barely average. Not terrible, not great either. It's just there.